Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook Chapter 61. Wow! The sword energy was more than 10 feet long, and the blood burst out from the back of the giant snake, and immediately there was a deep, bone-deep, almost penetrating sword mark. The giant snake immediately let out an earth-shattering and tragic howl, and its figure twisted crazily involuntarily. The four-winged flying snake on the side seemed to have also spotted Zhang Heng's figure, and the sudden hum of its tail was like a loud noise piercing the sky, which made Zhang Heng's soul tremble uncontrollably. Then, the tail of the four-winged giant snake swept towards Zhang Heng with a thunderous force. Zhang Heng endured the shocking feeling of his soul and forcibly escaped into the void. In the next second, the figure appeared at a height of more than 1,000 meters above the two snakes, overlooking the sky and the earth. It took a full 10 breaths of time before the feeling of being overwhelmed by the soul subsided for a while. Too strong. This kind of attack is similar to Sirius Xiaoyu, but its power is at least tens or hundreds of times that of Sirius Xiaoyu. If not, it would be impossible for Zhang Heng's current attributes and strengthening status to be affected so much. For a moment, Zhang Heng couldn't help but put away his heart of self-cause. Compared with the endless variety of methods in the world and the emergence of strange beasts, his current strength cannot be called invincible. And this is only on the second-tier battlefield. What about the higher third tier, and above the third tier? If this giant four-winged snake is a third-level or higher monster, maybe that one attack just now would have made him hate Shi 19 North. After a while, the two snakes finally found Zhang Heng, who was thousands of meters above the sky, and after roaring angrily, they rushed up again at an astonishing speed. With a thought, Zhang Heng directly stepped through the void. Hiss, dash roar. The two beasts roared at the same time, wanting to attack again. But this time, Zhang Heng didn't intend to give the two beasts a chance. I saw Zhang Heng's figure flashed, and instantly disappeared into the air, appearing in Su Chen, who was less than 1 meter in front of the two beasts. Next moment, I saw the Tianya Demon Slayer sword erupting with thousands of sword lights. It is the Tianya Demon Slaying Sword's ultimate move that Zhang Heng has never used before: execute evil and kill demons. In an instant, thousands of sword glows converged into 7749 unparalleled sword chi, unleashing a devastating momentum in the void. For a moment, countless sword lights were seen crisscrossing the void, and the figures of the two giant snakes were instantly pierced by countless sword holes under the terrifying sword lights, and the blood rained wildly. In just 2 breaths, the two giant snakes turned into countless pieces and fell into the void. Congratulations on killing a level 29 mythical monster BA snake, and you have obtained 500,000 upgrade energy points. Congratulations, all things have been successfully absorbed. 105 points of strength, 81 points of agility, 92 points of spirit, 88 points of constitution, and S-level talent flying. Congratulations on killing mythical creatures by leapfrogging and gaining 4 million battlefield points. Congratulations on killing a level 29 mythical monster snake and gaining 500,000 upgrade energy points. Congratulations, all things have been successfully absorbed. 88 points of strength, 92 points of agility, 101 points of spirit, 102 points of constitution, and SS level talent spiritual enhancement. Congratulations on killing mythical creatures by leapfrogging and gaining 4 million battlefield points. Seeing such a scene, Zhang Heng gasped. It is worthy of being a mythical level divine weapon, with infinite power. It is simply a divine weapon born for killing? Of course, this is also related to Zhang Heng's sky-defying attribute, but it cannot be denied that the skill of this sword is powerful. As a result, Zhang Heng's battlefield points soared again by 12 million, reaching a height of 22.7 million. Checking the list again, it was no surprise that his name was at the top of the list, more than 10 million higher than the second-place King Feng. At this time, Blue Wind's battlefield points also soared to a height of 12 million. This battlefield points can also be called extremely fast. It seems that Blue Wind has also entered the heavenly battlefield. Zhang Heng pondered for a moment, and in this way, the gap between the two sides also narrowed immediately. The next thing to compare is who kills monsters faster. Zhang Heng's heart sank, and he opened the battlefield points exchange mall again. With his current battlefield points, he can definitely exchange for better rewards. Only by quickly transforming these resources into strength can we improve rapidly and maximize our advantages. He doesn't need weapons for the time being. The Tianya Demon Slayer sword is enough for him to use until level 20, and after level 10, he can exchange for better ones if he has enough points. A moment later, Zhang Heng chose a 4th tier mythical spirit armor called the Divine Wind Armor. Extremely dazzling Divine Wind Armor grade, tier 4 spirit artifact, mythical grade attribute, plus 15,000 defense strength plus 550 agility plus 550 plus 550. Physique plus 550 defense plus 70% all attribute resistance plus 50% wind attribute proficiency plus 50% speed plus 50% additional feature, Divine Wind Body. Protection Kamikaze Shield, it can open a powerful wind shield, which can resist and absorb 500,000 points of damage. During the existence of the shield, it can be immune to corresponding physical and magic attacks, consumes 10,000 points of spiritual power, and has a cooling time of 6 hours. Special skill, Fengshen Phantom, turn on the power of Fengshen, and instantly blend into the wind to move quickly. During this period, the speed will increase by 10 times, the dodge rate will increase by 90%, and the dexterity will increase by 100%. It lasts for 60 seconds and consumes 500 spiritual power per second during use. It will be automatically terminated after the spiritual power is exhausted, or it can be terminated by itself. The cooling time is 12 hours. Equipment level 10 exchange requirements, 1.4 million battlefield points followed by a tier 4 mythical gauntlet. Extreme Skybreaker Gauntlet grade, tier 4 spirit artifact, mythical grade attribute plus 5,500 defense, plus 5,000 attack strength plus 300 agility plus 300 plus 300 physique plus 300 defense plus 30% 9 plus 30% damage factor plus 40% attack speed plus 50% additional feature. Break through the void. Breakthrough, it can increase the wearer's strength by 280%, and can make one's own strength penetrate 100 meters of void to cause damage to the enemy. Additional skill, punch through the air. Condense the punch through the air with the power of breaking through the air, can penetrate 500 meters into the void, cause damage to the enemy as much as the basic attack *550%. Consume 1,500 points of spiritual power. Cool down for 24 hours. Equipment level 10 exchange requirements, 1.2 million battlefield points followed by a mythical boot. Extremely dazzling God Wind Boots grade, tier 4 spirit artifact, mythical grade attribute, plus 7,500 defense strength plus 350 agility plus 350 spirit plus 350 physique plus 350 defense plus 40% 657 all attribute resistance plus 40%. Wind attribute proficiency plus 50% speed plus 75% additional feature. Power of Kamikaze Power of Divine Wind, it can increase the wearer's speed by 220%, dodge rate by 35%, and has a 5% chance to dodge fatal blows. Special skill, Wind God Escape Shadow Fengshen Escape Shadow, activate the power of Fengshen, instantly move anywhere within a radius of 2,000 meters, and can change positions 3 times. Cooldown time is 12 hours. Equipment level 10 exchange requirements, 1.2 million battlefield points. Finally, an exquisite mythical necklace. Xingxuan Divine Chain grade, tier 4 spirit artifact, mythical grade attribute, plus 50,000 spiritual power strength plus 450 agility plus 450 physique plus 450 casting speed plus 50% spiritual strength plus 50% all attribute resistance plus 30%. Spiritual element mastery plus 50% special skill, Light of Xingxian Light, it can increase the wearer's mental strength by 200%. And has a 10% chance of being immune to a mental shock below the 4th level. Once additional skill, Xingxian Aegis, it can automatically release a shield of spiritual power, which can resist the damage of spirit and spirit below the 4th level, such as sound waves, mental power, and thought power. Once, it lasts for 30 seconds and consumes 10,000 spiritual power each time. The cooling time is 30 minutes. Equipment level 10 exchange requirements, 1.4 million battlefield points. Chapter 62. In this way it cost a total of 5.2 million points, but it also allowed him to replace his whole body with shotguns and put on a whole body of God-level equipment. For the rest of the points, he decided not to change the equipment, but to look at the skills. Not long after, a SSS level sword technique called Sword of Heavenly Execution caught Zhang Heng's eyes. Redemption requirements, 10 million points. With a full exchange demand of 10 million, it is definitely an extremely powerful martial art. What's more, this sword technique is not the one that Zhang Heng most wanted to control the sword. Afterwards, Zhang Heng exchanged this sword technique without hesitation. Punishing Heaven and Extinguishing Sword grade, Heaven rank top grade, can be promoted to skills. Explanation of the skill. This skill is the unique art of the ancient sect Zhu Tianshenzong, the first god in the Tianzi god realm. It is a rare and peerless martial art that can be promoted to the god level. Punish the sky can also be punished. The second said, destroy the gods can also be destroyed. It is one of the ancient taboo swordsmanship, and those who have great perseverance and great luck cannot practice requirements. 1. Those who awaken SS level Dao body or above, or practice SSS level body training exercises of level 5 or above. Luck plus 10. Zhang Heng frowned slightly. The first condition was okay, but the second condition was that he was short of luck by 1 point. Involuntarily, he quickly checked in the pill interface to see if there was any luck-like panacea or fruit. After a while, a spiritual fruit named Holy Spirit Fruit jumped into view. Holy Spirit Fruit, luck plus 1 after eating requirement for exchange, 3 million battlefield points. Zhang Heng took a deep breath. A Holy Spirit Fruit is comparable to the sum of 3 artifacts. But in order to learn Sword of Heavenly Execution, Zhang Heng gritted his teeth and took it down. Ding! Congratulations on eating the Holy Spirit Fruit, luck plus 1. Congratulations, your luck value exceeds 10 points, and you have received the Blessing of Heaven and Fortune. Blessing of Heaven and Fortune, luck plus 10, cultivation speed plus 200%, aura recovery speed plus 500%, 10% chance to be immune to any damage once. This state can only be triggered once per hour per day. Really? The status will be triggered after luck exceeds 10 points. Among other things, the 200% cultivation speed alone is enough to make anyone wake up from their dreams with a smile. 10% immunity to any damage is equivalent to a gold medal for avoiding death. Although the probability is a bit tricky, at least there is a chance to save one's life. This is really better than any other reward, and the higher the luck, the higher the chance of triggering this chance, so in the future, it is only necessary to increase the luck value. When the conditions were fulfilled, Zhang Heng couldn't wait to take out the Sword of Executioner and confirm the cultivation. In an instant, the cheat book of Sword of Heavenly Execution entered Zhang Heng's body in the form of stars. Congratulations on your success in practicing the Heaven Punishing Sword, SSS level, technique, and you have obtained an additional SS level talent for the technique Sword Intent of Punishing Heaven. Put Heaven Sword Intent, SS level. Integrate the sword intent into the divine sense, increase the power of the divine mind by 5 times, and increase the lethality of the punishing sword by 20 times. Punishing Heaven and Extinguishing Sword grade, Heaven rank top grade, can be promoted to skills. Explanation of the skill. This skill is the top school of the ancient Tianzi God's domain Tianzi Shenzong. It is a rare and peerless martial art that can be promoted to the god level. Punish the sky can also be punished. The second said, destroy the gods can also be destroyed. It is one of the ancient taboo swordsmanship, and those who have great perseverance and great luck cannot practice first form. Punish Heaven with 1 sword, annihilate heaven and earth, kill heaven and earth. For any enemy within the perception range of divine sense, ignore space, ignore distance, ignore defense, ignore dodge, ignore parry. Sword will definitely hit, causing the opponent's basic attack * 1200% damage, consuming 100,000 spiritual power, and cooling time 600 seconds. Second form, destroying God, not yet unlocked. Unknown note. This sword technique can be integrated into Tianzi Sword Dao and Mission Sword Dao after it has been cultivated to a great degree, and can be promoted to a higher level god level sword. Seeing the horror of the Tianzi sword, Zhang Heng gasped. There is no doubt that this kind of heaven-defying swordsmanship is absolutely god-blocking, and killing gods and Buddhas are invincible. With 1 strike of the sword, even Tianzhen can be killed. After closing the exchange system, Zhang Heng couldn't help but take a deep breath. In this way, his strength has skyrocketed again, at least double that after killing the golden-winged rock. Involuntarily, He immediately checked his attributes. Host, Zhang Heng. Age, 18 years old. Level, 13 Power Potential, 8601 Agility Potential, 8106 Spiritual Potential, 8133 Physical Potential, 8362 Free Potential, 15103500/149150 Spiritual Power Strength, Grade B Root Bone Qualification, Void Sword Body, SSS Level, Talent, Absorbing All Things, SSS Level, Void Sword Deo, SSS Level, Heaven Killing Sword Intent, SS Level, Mastery of Space Elements, SS Level, etc. Cultivation Techniques, Heaven Killing Sword, SSS Level, Juzwen. Xiangong, SS Level, Heaven Slashing Swordsmanship, SS Level, Taigzu Swallowing Spirit Art, A Level, Extreme Hell Breaking and Killing Fist, A Level, Streaming Shadow Killing Sword, A Level, Zidian Qingshuang, A Level, Void Breaker, A Level, etc. Star, 430 stars. Seeing such attributes, Zhang Heng let out a deep breath. Compared with just entering the ancient battlefield, the self at this time has undoubtedly been completely reborn, and has been improved by tens or hundreds of times. What the potential attribute shows is only the superficial combat power, but the actual combat power far exceeds this value. Not to mention anything else, the 100 times damage added by the Void Sword Deo alone is enough to make him so powerful that he is against the sky. Now that I have practiced Sword of Exterminating Heaven and Extinguishing God, I believe that even a 5th level powerhouse may not be able to resist with one strike. With a movement of the Divine Mind, the Tianya Demon Slayer sword instantly appeared in the sky above the fingertips. After grasping it, Zhang Heng stepped into the void step by step, towards higher clouds and higher heights. The killing continues. Before you know it, the day passes by. After a whole day of killing, Zhang Heng didn't stop for a moment, and his record still topped the list, reaching a height of 130 million. In other words, at least 20 mythical monsters were beheaded by Zhang Heng's sword. It is worth mentioning that there seems to be no mythical powerhouses of the demon race and the witch race in this second heaven, and it seems that this should be the main battlefield of the monster race. The second-ranked Blue Wind has also reached the height of 70 million battle points, Niu Wang's, which is a full 50 million less than Zhang Heng. The gap is a little higher than the initial one, but it is not obvious. Obviously, Blue Wind is absolutely invincible in his corresponding battlefield, just like Zhang Heng, so he was able to sweep the entire celestial battlefield like this. It seems that there are no mythical monsters in this world. According to what Yinglan said, it seems that you can directly pass through this place to reach a higher level battlefield, that is, the first heaven from heaven. Zhang Heng raised his head and looked up at the sky, and with a movement of his figure, he stepped through the void in an instant and threw his life into the farther-reaching endless virtual. About 10 minutes later, Zhang Heng felt as if he had penetrated the top of the clouds and entered the starry sky area. At this time, the void changed for a while, and the system notification sound came immediately. You have reached the second heaven Xiantian limit area. You can break through the barrier and enter the third heaven Kongtian. Do you want to enter the third heaven? Enter. Zhang Heng took a deep breath and responded. In a blink of an eye, the world changed again. Chapter 63. New here? Please go to the back and queue. The void changed, and Zhang Heng appeared in a strange battlefield, where the sky and the earth were dark, the earth was cracked, and it was a dry scene. On the battlefield, a young man in brocade clothes gave Zhang Heng a haughty look, and suddenly said coldly. Zhang Heng ignored this person, looked around the scene for a week, and found that the place was actually full of figures, at least hundreds of people in front and back. These people seemed to have reached an agreement, each occupying an area to fight, constantly advancing and expanding the fields they occupy. But even so, the battlefield they occupy is only a drop in the bucket in terms of the entire battlefield, not worth mentioning. Outside their area, the monster race, witch race, and demon race are still endless, especially the battle in the sky is 100 times more intense than the ground. If it weren't for the heroic spirits of the human race fighting bloody battles in the battlefield to contain those strong men of various races, these robbed people would have been wiped out long ago. Seeing that Zhang Heng was ignoring him, the young man in brocade clothes frowned, and shouted angrily, "What are you looking at? Didn't you hear this young master talking to? Newcomers must abide by the rules, otherwise, they will be killed directly. While speaking, the young man was full of murderous intent. And he directly pulled out a sharp sword in his hand, pointing at Zhang Heng. Zhang Heng turned his gaze back and landed on this person. He narrowed his eyes slightly and said, "Rule? Who made this rule?" The young man snorted coldly. "Naturally, he is the strongest person on our battlefield. Brother Ling Xiaotian set the rules. If Brother Ling hadn't been a god of war level powerhouse and cleared out this area, how could we have successfully occupied this area? This is no worse than the barren world where you have to search for a beast for half a day in the lower realms. There are endless powerful monsters, witches, and demons here. If you want to gain a foothold here, you must unite. Anyone who dares to make trouble will immediately become a public enemy and be punished. Expulsion from the lower realms, even killed on the spot." After Zhang Heng listened, he nodded and said, "So that's the case. Since you answered my question honestly, I will spare you from death, but capital punishment can be avoided, but living crime cannot be escaped." As soon as the words fell, Zhang Heng flicked his fingers in the void, and instantly a fierce sword energy burst out in the air. The sword in the young man's hand was instantly shattered into countless pieces, and his figure was instantly blown away as if he had been hit by a missile. Dozens of hundreds of meters, life and death unknown. Remember next time, don't point your sword at others casually, especially those you can't afford. While speaking, Zhang Heng stepped into the void one step at a time. What? Xiaozai was injured. Advertisement, damn it! You dare to hurt people in the heavenly battlefield. Aren't you afraid of becoming a public enemy? Remember this person, if you get a chance, kill him immediately. Suddenly, countless voices sounded in the battlefield. Zhang Heng didn't take it seriously at all, and stepped into the clouds one step at a time. Now the trial is only on the second BJDB day, and it is not the time for the strong to harvest. Once the third day arrives, especially before the end of the trial, these people will definitely be the targets of the strong harvest. That strong man named Ling Xiaotian was probably not pure from the beginning. For this kind of calculation, Zhang Heng didn't bother to pay attention to it. Anyway, once the final melee broke out and a big fight broke out, he would never be the slightest bit soft. Human race, suffer death. In the void, I heard a roar resounding through the sky. Looking from a distance, I saw a strong demon with a height of 3 feet holding a huge axe, and cut down a shocking axe light at Zhang Heng in the sky. The axe light is dozens of hundreds of feet long, as if tearing the sky and the earth. Under the axe light, it seems that the space has been cut into pieces. With a movement of Zhang Heng's body, he instantly crossed the void, and at the same time, he also checked the information of this demon through the system. Deming race, Emperor Demon Race Level, 37 grade, Tier 3 Demon Monarch Power, 7255 Agility, 7054 Spirit, 7212 Physique, 7224 Talent, Emperor Demon Body, SSS Level, Dark Element Mastery, SSS Level, Power Control, SS Level, Weapon Proficiency, SS Level, Strength Enhancement, SS Level, Constitution Enhancement, SS Level, Defense Enhancement, SS Class, Yukong, S-Class, Skills, Demon God / SSS Level, Demon Axe Splitting Heaven, SS Level, Formless Demon Body, S Level, Heaven and Earth Phantom Shadow, S Level, Star, 340 stars. Emperor Demon Clan. Doesn't look good at all? Zhang Heng crossed the void in an instant, and the Tianya Demon Slayer sword in his hand turned into a terrifying sword light. Slash the sky with a sword? Void sword? The two major kendos were cast at the same time without hesitation, and the void seemed to be torn apart in an instant. Diming seemed to sense that something was wrong. His body instantly changed into a larger one, and he raised his giant axe high in his hand to block the sword. But in the next moment, the sword light pierced through the void, directly splitting his gigantic body in two. The shocking sword light continued unabated, tearing apart the surrounding clouds completely, forming a terrifying wave of swords in the void. The clouds rolled and the clouds stretched, and the mighty never stopped. A kind of monster around was instantly startled by the sword and backed away. It's too terrifying. Even the powerful Emperor and Demon Clan were instantly killed by a single sword. Is there anyone else who can stop it? Congratulations to you for killing the 37th level Demon Monarch Demon Clan Diming, and you have obtained 1 million upgrade energy points. Congratulations, all things have been successfully absorbed. 110 points of strength, 100 points of agility, 102 points of spirit, 120 points of constitution, SS level talent power control, SS level talent skill weapon proficiency power control, SS level it can stimulate one's own potential and permanently increase the strength of the power by 20 times weapon proficiency, SS level it can increase the additional attributes of weapons by 100%, and increase the attack power of weapons by 200%. Congratulations on killing mythical creatures at the 2nd level and gaining 8 million battlefield points. Congratulations, your upgrade energy has reached the upper limit of level 17, your level has been raised to level 18, your potential has been slightly improved, and you have obtained 5 free potential points. Congratulations to the host level raised to level 18, and a D-level reward, a Yunling Pill, level 2 Spirit Pill. Taking it can increase spiritual power by 1000 points. The upper limit of taking it is 20 pills. Swallowing the Yunling pill casually, Zhang Heng felt extremely relieved. Sure enough, killing monsters in the tier 3 battlefield is a pleasure, a full 8 times improvement. Who can compare? And the level increase is also very fast. In a blink of an eye, you will reach level 18. You should be able to break through level 20 tomorrow at the latest and advance to the Earth rank. Once De Ming died, Zhang Heng didn't even look at it. He directly crossed the void and set foot on the higher clouds. Not long after, a palace appeared in front of the eyes in the depths of the clouds. The palace was in the clouds, like the ancient fairy palace in the legend. It was indescribably magical. But the people in the immortal palace shouted to kill and shook the sky. Blood flowed into rivers, making the world that looked like a fairyland look like Shura's purgatory. Kill. Countless human heroic spirits fought together with monsters and demons, and the 4 battalions were in chaos. Human race, dirty reptiles, go to hell with me. Above Xianyu, a giant about 7 or 8 feet tall, with a bluish-black body, was holding a trident, full of thunder, just like the legendary Thor, and looked extremely terrifying. In the next moment, countless thunderbolts poured out from the giant's hands, and countless human spirits were instantly reduced to ashes. Under the light of thunder, it's too strong. This giant is probably several times stronger than the Dimming he killed just now. Liwen race, which grade? Tier 3 which venerable level? 3-8 power, 9215 agility, 8941 9112 physical, 9314 talents, Great Witch body, SSS level, Lightning element mastery, SSS level, Thunder mastery, SS level, Power mastery, SS level, Strength enhancement, SS level, Constitution enhancement, SS level, Defense enhancement, SS level, Yakong, S level, Skills, Thunderbolt tribulation, SSS level, Myriad tribulation lightning light, SS level, Law of heaven and earth, SS level, Climbing heaven and earth, S level, Star rating, 460 stars. Chapter 64 The combat power is actually 460 stars, which can be called extremely powerful. However, compared with Zhang Heng's current strength, this combat power is not enough. After a day of improvement, his combat strength has reached a sky-defying 577 stars, and his basic strength is as high as 11,500 points. With a stretch of his figure, Zhang Heng directly crossed the sky and killed this witch. This witch's reaction is extremely fast. As soon as it detects a change, it instantly releases thousands of thunderbolts in the void, wreaking havoc on the void. Zhang Heng's heart moved, and he realized that the thunder released by the witch could penetrate the void and hit him with the power of penetrating space. But after being weakened by the space, the damage of the thunder was far from posing a threat to him. With a flick of Zhang Heng's fingertips, 100-foot sword light burst out in the void instantly. It's another note / the sky with a sword? Void sword? The world seemed to be split into 2 at this moment. Even the fairy ladder behind this witch was also cut into 2 pieces. There was a shocking sound. The great witch named Lei Yuan suddenly let out a terrifying howl. The entire huge body was cut off from it, and the blood rained wildly. Congratulations on killing the 37th level witch clan Lei Yuan, and you have obtained 1 million upgrade energy points. Congratulations. All things have been successfully absorbed, gaining 102 points of strength, 105 points of agility, 102 points of spirit, 107 points of constitution, gaining SSS level talent thunder element proficiency, and obtaining SS level talent skill Thunder Control. Congratulations on killing mythical creatures at the 2nd level and gaining 8 million battlefield points. Get 2 more talents, and they are still SSS level and SS level Thunderbolt talents. Before that, his talent in this area was completely blank. I didn't expect that as the strength became stronger, it became so easy to acquire talent. At the same time, Zhang Heng was also very puzzled. After acquiring so many talents, what kind of realm will he grow to in the end? Comparable to the Protoss, or beyond the legendary Protoss. However, Zhang Heng now knows that there is a god level above the SSS level, and the god level is probably not the endpoint. There should be a higher level, the prehistoric level? Of course, these are just speculations, and it is unknown what is behind it. As soon as Lei Yuan died, all the heroic spirits of the people were overjoyed, and the surrounding monsters and witches scattered one after another. But there were also people who were not afraid of death and crazily came to kill Zhang Heng. Zhang Heng was naturally not polite, his sword was like a streamer, and he harvested countless creatures of all races in a blink of an eye. So, there are such strong people in the human race? Our human race should be prosperous. Kill. Kill? Accompany me to kill the 9 layers of Immortal Palace? Destroy the monster race and God Court? Return the world to a bright future. Countless human spirits yelled to kill Zhentian, and rushed to the fairy palace in the sky. Zhang Heng raised his head, and from a distance, he saw 3 large characters Kong Tian Gong written on a huge palace gate in front of the Immortal Palace. At this time, 2 terrifying black demonic winds suddenly blew up on both sides of the fairy palace, and in a blink of an eye, countless human spirits were swept up by the demonic winds, and all the nearby demons, and witches were all affected. Was swept up by the black wind and strangled directly. Zhang Heng felt a chill in his heart. This war in ancient times was so cruel. Although the human race won the final victory, there were still heavy casualties. In a blink of an eye, more than half of the human heroic spirits were killed or injured, but there are still countless human heroic spirits who are not afraid of death, exuding amazing awe-inspiring fighting spirit, staring at the black wind and fearlessly stepping forward. At this time, Zhang Heng discovered that a strange beast had appeared from the gate of the Tiangong Palace at some point. This beast has the head of a deer and the body of a bird with pitch-black pupils. The wings on its back are like steel wings. It is extremely powerful. When it spreads its wings, the evil wind sweeps across the world like a sharp blade. Demon God Fei Lian, Avatar, Grade, Tier 3 Mythical. Grade Level, 38 Power, 10215x1224111112. Physical, 10314 Talent, Demon God Body, SSS Level, Wind God, SSS Level, Wind Element Mastery, SSS Level, Wind Element Control, SS Level, Agility Enhancement, SS Level, Speed Enhancement, SS Level, Spiritual Enhancement, SS Level, Yufeng, SSS Level, Skills, 9 Heavens Stellar Wind, SSS Level, Havoc Storm, SSS Level, Flying Sand and Rock, SS Level, Fengshen Wings, SS Level, Wind Rhythm, SS Level, Star, 510 stars. It was actually the legendary demon god Fei Lian. Zhang Heng secretly took a long breath. Legend has it that Fei Lian is one of the top 10 demon gods under the Eastern Emperor Tai, also known as Fengbo, Fengji, with a human face and a bird body. However, Fei Lian in front of him is different from the image in the legend, and according to the system prompt, it is not Fei Lian's body, but just an incarnation. But even if it is an incarnation, its strength is extremely powerful, far exceeding that of ordinary mythical monsters. With this in mind, Zhang Heng no longer hesitated, one step across the void. The avatar of Fei Lian seemed to be aware of Zhang Heng's appearance immediately. His figure moved instantly, and disappeared in front of his eyes in an instant. The next moment, a violent black wind swept directly in the direction of Zhang Heng. The black wind is so strange that it can penetrate the void and cause damage to Zhang Heng's body. With a movement of Zhang Heng's figure, he immediately penetrated the void to stay away from the black wind. Amazing! This beast is so sensitive that it is far superior to ordinary mythical monsters. It is impossible to kill this monster with ordinary means. Zhang Heng's eyes were slightly fixed in the void, and he decided to try the Zushan, which he had never used before. *0 #12 With a thought in his mind, Zhang Heng suddenly raised Tianya Demon Slayer's sword and pointed it at the sky. In an instant, it seemed as if the world with a radius of several thousand meters had solidified, and fell into a terrible state of prohibition. The avatar of Fei Lian seemed to have sensed something, and the head, which looked like a human face, showed a hint of panic. But at the next moment, a boundless sword light came from nowhere, instantly cut through the void, and with a bang, Fei Lian's avatar's head fell from the void for no reason. Blood burst out, and he died on the spot. This is, Zhu Tian. Congratulations to you for killing the 38th level demon god level demon clan, the incarnation of Fei Lian, and you have obtained 1 million upgrade energy points. Congratulations, all things have been successfully absorbed, gaining 110 points of strength, 105 points of agility, 112 points of spirit, 118 points of constitution, gaining SSS level talent wind element proficiency, and obtaining SS level talent skill agility enhancement 0. Congratulations on killing mythical creatures at the 2nd level and gaining 8 million battlefield points. As soon as Fei Lian's avatar died, the black gust of wind raging in the void disappeared immediately, and the shouts of killing resounded through the sky again. Zhang Heng stood in the void, watching the human spirits crazily rushing towards the depths of the immortal palace, and the entire ancient immortal palace fell into boundless flames of war. At this time, an extremely gorgeous flying bird slid down from the sky, bringing out colorful and strange colors along the way. However, in the next moment, countless fires burst out, and the raging fire like burning the sky fell from the bird's body into the void and fell into the fairy palace. Demons, witches, and demons were all instantly burned to ashes. Zhang Heng was about to chase the bird, but unexpectedly dozens of flames flew towards him and surrounded him. With a move in Zhang Heng's heart, he immediately summoned the Jixuan Ice Flame, and took Tian Mei Duo's flame into the minister of the Jixuan Ice Flame. Like the extremely dazzling ice flame, the flames dropped by this bird are also blue, but the extremely dazzling ice flame is ice blue, while the sky where this bird falls is sky blue. When the two flames came into contact, the void was instantly ignited, and the raging flames burned the entire sky into dark blue, which was very magnificent. In a blink of an eye, more than 10 flames were swallowed by the extremely dazzling ice flames, and the color also deepened a little. Good thing? If you can catch this bird, maybe Jixuan Binjian can advance to the next level. With a thought, Zhang Heng wanted to chase the bird, but in the blink of an eye, the bird pierced through the void and disappeared without a trace. This bird actually possesses spatial supernatural powers. Zhang Heng was a little surprised, but what was certain was that the strength of this bird was definitely far superior to that of Fei Lian just now. However, although this bird disappeared, those blue flames raging in the fairy palace cannot be let go. These are excellent nourishment for Jixuan Binjian. Chapter 65. In the depths of the cloud, just as Zhang Heng was killing all directions, turning Diming, Lei Yuan, and Fei Lian into the 3 mythical powerhouses one after another, a handsome man in blue looked at this scene in amazement. When did this kind of character come to the 3rd-tier battlefield? It is almost effortless to kill the 3 mythical powerhouses one after another. His strength is far better than mine. The man muttered to himself in surprise. Before that, he also tried to fight against such mythical level monsters and demons, but he almost survived. In the end, he barely repelled them with the help of the human heroic spirits, but it was a bit of a dream to kill them. Within the same level, this kind of mythical level creature in ancient legends can be called an invincible existence. Now thousands of years have passed in the ancient prehistoric world, and there has long been no such mythical level creature. Only legendary creatures are extremely terrifying, enough to cause turmoil in one party. Therefore, in the era of the outside world, being able to compete with legendary creatures within the same rank is already an absolute genius, and being able to compete with legendary creatures is a person who stands at the top of the pyramid of the same generation. And he is the chosen one who can compete with legendary creatures 19 times, and he is the leader of the younger generation. But after entering this celestial battlefield, you will know how big the world is. In front of the mythical powerhouse, his original pride was shattered almost instantly. So now in this battlefield, he has been hiding in hiding, waiting for opportunities to attack, so that the increase in points is extremely slow, and his ranking on the list of heaven and earth is also far away from the 300 or 400. See What made him extremely puzzled was why there are still strong human beings like Zhang Heng and Ye Wuchen in this world, who can kill mythical creatures as easily as eating and drinking. On the other hand, I have no power to parry in front of mythical powerhouses. The gap is as big as the difference between heaven and earth. In the past, he could only guess how powerhouses such as Zhang Heng and Ye Wuchen could contend against mythical monsters and demons. Until now, he saw the battle of the man before the fairy palace, and he knew that there really was such a powerhouse in this world. Exists? But this person undoubtedly appeared suddenly. Before this, there had never been a mythical creature killed in the Tier 3 battlefield. And as soon as this person appeared, 3 mythological creatures were beheaded, and so neatly, that even the gate of the Immortal Palace was breached before today. This person must have never been to the 3rd tier battlefield, otherwise I would not know, so it is very likely that this person came down from the 4th tier battlefield. Why did the strong in the Shenyi tier battlefield suddenly enter the 1st tier battlefield? Could it be that the 4th tier battlefield is too competitive? Ling Xiaotian couldn't help but opened the Heavenly Dao Myriad Tribulations list to check carefully. This person has just killed 3 god-level creatures one after another. Even at the same level, he has gained at least 6 million points. Even now, 6 million points is enough to rank among the top 200, not to mention that it is absolutely impossible for a person with this strength to only have 6 million points. So he decided to directly target at those with more than 10 million points. Enter the strong ones. 10 million points is enough to be listed in the top 100 at this time, a person who is really at the top. However, after browsing all the way, among the top 100, except for a human woman named Hua Yuerong who is in the 4th level, none of the others is below the 4th level. The main level is even invisible. No. For a moment, Ling Xiaotian was a little dumbfounded. Hua Yuerong is in the 4th order realm. It is absolutely impossible to enter the 3rd order battlefield, and this person is a woman, and it is impossible to be the person in the fairy palace, so who is this person? Involuntarily, his gaze finally landed on the top spot. Suddenly, his pupils shrank slightly, because at this time he found that Zhang Heng's battlefield points had increased by another 24 million points and Huafeng, who was in 2nd place, had once again opened up a fixed 70 million points. 70 million is definitely a desperate number. At this time, he remembered Zhang Heng's identity as the 1st order responder according to the legend. The 1st order responder, going 2 tier and entering the 3rd tier battlefield? Subconsciously, Ling Xiaotian trembled all over. Entering the battlefield 2 levels above means that the points will increase by 4 times, and in the heavenly battlefield, it will increase by 2 times. That is, killing 3 mythical creatures in succession by 8 times is exactly 24 million points. So, the person in front of me is the legendary number 1 on the Heavenly Dao and Myriad Tribulations list, Zhang Heng. Thinking of this, Ling Xiaotian couldn't help trembling. His heart was burning. If he could kill Zhang Heng at this time and get half of the opponent's points, then he would definitely be number 1 in the ranking in an instant. This person has 157 million battlefield points, half of which is 78 million, which is 3 million more than the 2nd Kangfang with 75 million, and he is definitely the 1st. But as soon as this idea came up, he broke out in a cold sweat in an instant. It would not be too difficult for this person to kill 3rd tier mythical creatures as easily as eating and drinking. Want to kill Zhang Heng and snatch the opponent's points? It seems a bit far-fetched. Just as Ling Xiaotian was hesitating, he suddenly sensed that Zhang Heng's eyes suddenly penetrated thousands of meters of void, looking at himself deep in the clouds. As if the cloud that covered his figure had no effect at all, Qi Kuokuo appeared in the opponent's eyes. Inexplicably, Ling Xiaoshan's heart trembled again, and cold sweat broke out on his back again. This look, horrible. It makes people feel as if he can cross the void and kill himself in the next moment, and it is an extremely simple 1-finger kill, and the 2nd finger will never be used. Subconsciously, he hurriedly escaped from the clouds and fled to the very far void. 593 Sensing Ling Xiaotian fleeing from the clouds in a panic, Zhang Heng didn't take it seriously. It's only the 2nd day of the trial, and it's not yet time to grab points. With a flash of sword light, Zhang Heng has followed the army of human heroes and rushed into the depths of the fairy palace. 2 hours later, Zhang Heng's body stepped on the top of the ruined Tiangong, overlooking the sky. I didn't expect there to be so many mythical creatures in the fairy palace. More than 30 mythical creatures were killed, which is more than the total number in the second-tier battlefield. From this point of view, the mythical creatures in this third-tier battlefield not too much. Do you want to go to the tier 4 battlefield? While speaking, Zhang Heng hesitated slightly in his heart, because after constantly killing and plundering, he found that the absorption of all things could no longer absorb the attribute value, and it seemed that his own potential attribute had reached the limit that the first-order realm could carry, which was 10,000 points. In other words, if he wants to continue absorbing potential attributes, he must raise his level to level 20 as soon as possible, and advance to the second level. After simply checking the level progress, I found that level 19 is already halfway through, and it is estimated that I can advance to level 20 within 2 hours at most. After pondering for a moment, Zhang Heng decided to directly advance to the third-tier battlefield. After all, there are not many people here, so it is just suitable for leveling. The fourth-tier situation in the fourth-tier battlefield is unknown, so it is not too late to go after the promotion. Determined to pay attention, Zhang Heng no longer hesitated, flying all the way down the sky with his sword. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook Chapter 66. Time passed by little, and after an hour and a half, only a pleasant notification sound came. Congratulations, your upgrade energy has reached the upper limit of level 19, your level has been raised to level 20, your potential has been slightly improved, and you have obtained 5 free potential points. Congratulations to the host. Level 4. Upgrading to level 20. Reward A level reward a 3rd grade foundation building pill 3rd grade foundation establishment pill. It can be used to increase the 30% success rate of cultivators breaking through the 2nd level foundation establishment realm. Congratulations to the host for upgrading to level 20. You can break through to the 2nd level foundation building through cultivation. Note, you cannot obtain upgrade energy before breaking through the realm. After seeing the system prompt, Zhang Heng was instantly dumbfounded. It turns out that it is not the same as breaking through the first level Qi training stage, and it needs to be cultivated to break through. But thinking about it, he used the spirit swallowing Ju to practice at the beginning of his spiritual energy recovery, and even used his spiritual energy to cultivate the spirit swallowing Ju to the 2nd stage, not only condensing the sea of Qi, but also condensing the cyclone. We have officially entered Qi training. It's just that the system didn't judge him to be in the Qi training state because he hadn't reached the level yet. Therefore, as soon as the level exceeds level 10, the system will directly advance by default and become a first-level Qi training practitioner. In this way, the explanation makes sense, but how can I cultivate to the foundation building stage now? Frowning slightly, Zhang Heng couldn't help but open the system to check his own cultivation skills. Since I have been busy with killing monsters and upgrading recently, I have no time to practice hard, so after the system upgraded the Spirit Swallowing Ju to a Taigzi Swallowing Spirit Ju, I didn't practice hard, but only used it occasionally to absorb and replenish aura and its just space energy. And after Soul Swallowing Ju was upgraded to Taigzi Swallowing Soul Ju, the original 2nd level peak state also fell to the 2nd level early stage. Looking at the progress of his cultivation, Zhang Heng immediately felt dizzy. At this time, the progress of the 2nd level of Taigzi Swallowing Spirit Art is only 2%, and it needs to absorb and refine 50,000 points of spiritual power to advance to the 2nd level of perfection. That's right, the E-level Soul Swallowing Ju can reach the 2nd level of perfection after absorbing 1,000 points of spiritual power, and the A-level Taigzi Swallowing Ju needs to absorb 50,000 points to reach perfection, and he has even improved at this time 500 points only. There is undoubtedly a huge gap between 500 and 50,000. If you want to meditate honestly on the spot, it will take at least a day or 2 to complete it smoothly. This is still under the blessing of heaven and fortune, otherwise, it is definitely impossible to retreat for a day or 2 under the current situation. But if you want to advance to the 2nd level, you must quickly increase the progress of the Taigzi Swallowing Spirit Art. While hesitating, Zhang Heng suddenly remembered the wish power value that he had never had the chance to use. When the merit system was first awakened, the system reminded that the power of vows can be used to assist in practice, improve potential, talent, qualifications, etc. If it is an auxiliary practice, I wonder if it can directly improve the progress of cultivation? With this in mind, Zhang Heng immediately opened the wish power system. Sure enough, in the wish system option, there is an option to quickly improve the progress of martial arts practice, not only improving the Taigzu swallowing spirit ju. Even the 9 turns mysterious art may also be improved. Zhang Heng was overjoyed immediately, and quickly used his willpower to complete the progress of the second stage of the Taigzu swallowing spirit ju. Ding! Congratulations on the completion of the second stage of the Taigzu swallowing spirit ju. The second stage has achieved great success. All attributes plus 200 access realm reward. Spiritual energy absorption speed plus 500. Spiritual power strength increased by 20%. Spiritual power plus 10,000. Following the system notification, Zhang Heng only felt that the power of wish turned into a warm current flowing all over his body, and he felt extremely comfortable all over his body. An unprecedented sense of abundance of spiritual power flooded the whole body, and in the danshan of Ki, a full 60,000 points of spiritual power surged. Sharp! The effect of wish power is really against the sky. However, such a forcible promotion consumes a lot of willingness, and the 1 million vows disappeared without a trace in a blink of an eye. When the cultivation technique was completed, Zhang Heng immediately swallowed the foundation establishment pill and used his profound art with all his strength. In an instant, a kind of spiritual power filled the Ki danshan, as if the feeling of breaking out of the body flooded every corner of the body. Under the stimulation of Zuji Dan, the spiritual power in the body was like boiling water crazily towards Zhang Heng's limbs. Skeletons go! Zhang Heng immediately performed the third-level heart method of Taigzu swallowing spirit ju, guiding the boiling breath towards the bottleneck of the third-level meridians. Ka! Only a crisp sound came out, and the second-order bottleneck was washed away like paper in less than 3 seconds, and the surging spiritual energy rushed along the path of the third-level heart method of Taigzu swallowing spirit art, the meridians of the whole body. The exercises that originally only opened up 12 meridians have also been directly expanded to 24. Congratulations on advancing to the second-level foundation building realm and obtaining realm rewards. The potential of all attributes has been increased by 200 points. A feeling of breaking through the shackles also instantly flooded the whole body, making Zhang Heng couldn't help but let out a deep breath. The feeling that had been suppressed in his heart before finally disappeared, which made him feel like he had escaped from the cage, and the sea and the sky were brighter from now on. Finally, after breaking through this way, entering the Tier 4 battlefield should improve a lot. Zhang Heng stretched his muscles and bones, checked his overall condition, and found that his combat power, which was originally stuck at 655 stars, had risen to a height of 677 stars. Looking around, he found that the monsters within a radius of 10 miles had been killed by him, and there was no shadow in sight. The next moment, Zhang Heng stepped into the void, directly into the clouds, and disappeared in the blink of an eye. With Zhang Heng's departure, the area where he practiced originally fell into dead silence. After an hour and a half of killing, it can be said that the entire battlefield has been killed to a silent state. Countless monsters, demons, and witches swept under Zhang Heng's sword, and the originally mighty battlefield was completely wiped out by him at this moment. It is enough to see how crazy this hour and a half was. The plunderers who were more than 10 miles away were also as quiet as a chilling cicada, because Zhang Heng's previous movement was so great that it was terrifying. It is no exaggeration to say that Zhang Heng rewritten the entire battlefield pattern with his own power, allowing them to finally get out of the struggling predicament, and officially widen and pull the front line. But because of this, the number of enemies on the battlefield is reduced by half compared to before. It's hard to imagine that this is the result of the appearance of one person. Finally leaving? Who was that person just now? He almost killed the entire battlefield with his own strength. The horror of strength is unheard of. Could it be Ling Xiaotian? With Ling Xiaoshan's strength, it shouldn't be a big problem to break through this battlefield, winning Wang Xiao. It shouldn't be Ling Dashan. Although Ling Dashan is also very strong, he doesn't act as crazy as this person. I see that person looks very similar to the person who injured Xiaoji. Could it be that person? Probably not. Didn't that person enter the celestial battlefield very late? How could he be so strong? It shouldn't be this person. If he really wanted to be so strong, why did he come to the battlefield of the heavens so late? However, This person's ability to injure Xiaoji with one blow shows that his strength is indeed very strong, and he should not be underestimated. Naturally, Zhang Heng didn't know about these discussions, and he went all the way up the sky, and in the blink of an eye, he found one after another in the depths of the clouds, the robbers fighting in the clouds. Presumably they should be extremely powerful masters in this battlefield. After hesitating for a while, Zhang Heng decided to ignore them for the time being. It's still early, and it's far from the harvest time. With this time, it's better to go to the Tier 4 battlefield to find out the situation as soon as possible. With a thought, in the next moment, Zhang Heng's figure had already disappeared into the far-reaching sky. Chapter 67. After advancing to the second level, Zhang Heng's title on the battlefield has also become a second-level robber. Therefore, the point-doubling ratio in the third-tier battlefield is reduced to 4 times, but it will be increased to 8 times when entering the fourth-tier battlefield. A moment later, Zhang Heng penetrated the peak of the third heaven again and reached the fourth heaven Gangtian. The void changed, and what appeared in front of my eyes was a crimson sky, and the earth was as hot as fire, as if there was a raging flame burning between the sky and the earth. There are not many monsters in the surrounding battlefield, only a few sporadic waves are fighting with a few robbers, and it looks relatively calm. But soon, a battlefield in the sky immediately attracted Zhang Heng's attention. On the high sky 10,000 meters away, a huge crimson disk like a scorching sun hung high in the void, exuding a terrifying aura that could scorch the world. In the scorching sun, one could faintly see the figure of a three-legged golden crow, flapping its wings in the scorching sun continuously, making the crimson flames continuously gushing out, and fighting with countless human spirits and the victims of the robbery. Zhang Heng could only look at it with astonishment in his heart. Three-legged golden crow, a super god-level creature in ancient mythology, is known as the Great Sun Golden Crow. Legend has it that the bodies of Dong Huangtai and Demon Emperor Jun are the three-legged Jin Mu. One of these two brothers is Dong Huang and the other is Demon Emperor. Therefore, in the heavenly court of the ancient monster clan, the three-legged golden crow was an existence of the royal family, extremely noble. Of course, there is no doubt about its strength. Unexpectedly, there was a three-legged golden crow in this Tier 4 battlefield. It is reasonable for ordinary human races to contend with creatures like the three-legged golden crow, but at this time, someone in the void has transformed into a golden flood dragon to fight with the three-legged golden crow. Countless human heroic spirits and responders and countless monster races and demons also fought in the void, and the flames of war ignited the entire void. Not only that, but there seemed to be Wu Clan participating in it, just like a massive melee. As the saying goes, it's better to come early than to come early. I didn't expect to encounter such a unique battle just after entering this battlefield. Is there any reason not to participate? With a thought, Zhang Heng stepped into the void in an instant, and entered the high sky above the clouds. As he got closer, Zhang Heng realized that there was not one but 3 dragons fighting the three-legged golden crow, each in red, gold, and blue. The flood dragon danced wildly in the void, roaring and roaring from time to time. The 3-color flood dragons have different colors and different supernatural powers. The scarlet flood dragon can also swallow flames, and most of the divine fire emitted by the three-legged golden crow was resisted by it. The golden flood dragon continuously emits golden light, and its attack power is so strong that the three-legged golden crow is tied up. The body of the cyan dragon continuously reproduces cyan light, and the cyan light flashes, and the injuries on the other 2 dragons will immediately recover, making them invincible. At the same time, Zhang Heng was able to arrive at a corner of the battlefield. A young and beautiful woman in Xingyi quickly danced her bare hands, and played a magic formula, urging a pale golden disc slightly floating in front of her. There are 3 figures of dragons engraved on the disc, which look miraculous and extraordinary. If there is no accident, the main dragon is released by this woman using the magic weapon in front of her. Zhang Heng immediately approached the battlefield and learned the specific information of the three-legged golden crow. Through the system, Demon God Three-Legged Golden Crow, 9th son of Heavenly Emperor incarnation of Renjing, grade, Tier 4 mythical grade level, 48 power, 18105 agility, 18299178889 physique, 18722 talent, Golden Crow body, SSS level, Fire Essence body, SSS level, Fire Element Mastery, SSS level, Fire element control, SSS level, strength enhancement, SSS level, agility enhancement, SSS level, speed enhancement, SSS level, spirit enhancement, SSS level, wind control, SSS level, skills, Great Sun Golden Crow, SSS level, Golden Crow Divine Fire, SSS level, Shenyang Heavenly Punishment, SSS level Yang Flame Storm, SSS level, Star, 905 stars. Zhang Heng only looked at it secretly. This 4th tier, BJCF, battlefield is really not the same as the 3rd tier battlefield. The strength of this Golden Crow is simply outrageous. Most of all talents and skills are SSS level, powerful to the heavens. This time, the woman in Xingyi suddenly showed a slight pale complexion, and said softly, "Please also ask Senior Peng to take action, this junior will not be able to hold on any longer." A heroic spirit of the golden armored human race on the side shouted softly, and suddenly threw a banner in his hand. In an instant, the banner turned into hundreds of feet, emitting a terrifying silver-white light, covering the sky and the sun, directly covering the three-legged golden crow's body completely within it. Covered by the silvery white light, the scorching sun transformed by the three-legged golden crow vibrated violently like boiling water. For a moment, the three-legged golden crow howled violently. "This is..." Zhang Heng was astonished in his heart, did not expect that there is something that restrains the golden crow divine fire in this world. The woman in Xingyi also seemed to be relieved, and immediately used a formula to put the bodies of the 3 flood dragons into the strange disc class. Zhang Heng looked at it eagerly. There is no doubt that this strange disc is definitely a rare treasure. I don't know if this woman is arrogant or self-confident, but she just sat cross-legged in the void and meditated on the spot to restore her spiritual power. Zhang Heng's heart moved, and he was about to go out to snatch this treasure, when a man with a handsome face suddenly appeared beside the woman in Xingyi and said, "Miss Yuerong, I will protect you." The woman in Xingyi nodded her head as a tacit consent. Zhang Heng frowned slightly, and was about to find out the truth of this person, but at this moment, the handsome man suddenly flipped his left hand secretly, and took out a different nail that was all jet black. In an instant, the body shield on the woman's body flashed with blue light, and she actually resisted the black nail's sneak attack, but in the next instant, the black nail directly broke through the blue shield, and fell into the woman's body like lightning. The woman in Xingyi let out a muffled snort, and opened her mouth to spit out a mouthful of black blood. Her pretty face changed from pale white to gray-black, obviously poisoned by the blood-sealed throat. "Lin Xishan, you are so despicable." The woman in Xingyi quickly retreated hundreds of meters, staring at the handsome man named Lin Xishan with an extremely ugly expression. Lin Xishan smiled slightly, and said, "There is no way, your strength is too strong, I can't hurt you without this method." The woman in Xingyi suddenly flipped one hand, took out a crystal clear pill from the ring and threw it into her mouth, suppressing her anger, and said, "So you came close to me to sneak attack me? But you just tried it today on the 2nd day, you can't hold back so quickly. It's useless, you are stabbed with a bone-piercing nail. Even if the poison is detoxified, the bone-piercing nail will enter your heart along your blood. In less than 10 breaths, you will cut off your heart and die. Just detoxification can't save you. You can just wait for your death. I will inherit your magic weapon and points, and become one of the top 100 in the heavenly tribulation ranking." Lin Xishan didn't care at all, and smiled lightly. "Really? Then how do you know that I have really been hit by your piercing nail?" Chapter 68. At this time, the woman in Xingyi suddenly changed her panic-stricken demeanor and smiled. Lin Xishan's expression changed instantly, as if something was wrong with him secretly, and he was about to escape. But at the next moment, a huge magic circle suddenly appeared under his feet, and the 5-color light of the magic circle flashed, instantly turning into countless lights and shadows and covering him. Lin Xishan's complexion changed drastically, and he shouted, "This is the 5 elements formation? Hua Yuerong, you are so vicious." But in the next moment, his entire body was penetrated by 5-color rays of light, and although the protective light on his body also appeared in time to protect him, he could barely hold on under the 5-color rays of light. It melted in one breath in the invisible. In the blink of an eye, the handsome man in this city disappeared. The woman in Xingyi named Hua Yuerong seemed to have done something insignificant, clapped her bare hands, and a formation plate in the void, and the two items dropped by Lin Xishan fell into her hands one after another. Lin Xishan's body was naturally more than these, but with a flash of light, the resurrection effect was triggered, and his body and other belongings turned into streams of light and disappeared. After doing this, the gray and black complexion on Hua Yuerong's pretty face instantly melted away, and the beautiful whiteness returned. Where is there any sign of poisoning? Zhang Heng could only look at it in admiration. This woman's scheming is so deep that she has only seen it in her life. But if there is no such scheming, I am afraid that it is impossible to gain a foothold in this world. Therefore, Zhang Heng admired this woman quite a lot, and didn't feel wrong with her actions. It turns out that Lin Xishan is a hypocrite. I've seen it a long time ago. It's just that there is no evidence. Fortunately, Miss Yuerong has sharp eyes and killed the matter in time. A man in brocade clothes came from not far away and walked towards Hua Yuerong from afar. But Hua Yuerong didn't accept this man's tricks, flicked her fingers, and a sharp sword overflowing with sword light pierced into the void, protecting her in front of her, saying, "Within 30 feet, I don't want to see anyone, otherwise, kill without mercy." But the man in brocade clothes shook his head, and said with a smile, "Miss Yuerong is so unfeeling, but it makes me wait too coldly. We will accompany you to fight in the south and north in the past 2 days. Even if there is no credit, there will be hard work. You even us don't want to trust." The man snapped his fingers lightly in the void, and 4 or 5 men and women left their own battlefield immediately and gathered around Hua Yuerong. Hua Yuerong narrowed her eyes slightly, looked around, and said coldly, "The trial is less than 2 days away, are you all so impatient?" The man in brocade clothes sighed softly. "There is no way, although Lin Xishan is a bit stupid, but what he said is true. Your strength is too strong. If you don't take advantage of your weakness, then we are the only ones who are unlucky. Well, if we wait until tomorrow, we will be the ones who are afraid of being unlucky, right? Therefore, we have to act first." Zhang Heng stood still in the void, sighing secretly. It is indeed a big show. It's not yet the 3rd day, and unexpectedly, intense intrigue has already begun. On the surface, the woman named Hua Yuerong fell into an absolute disadvantage, but women's magic weapons are emerging. One after another, maybe they can fight back against the enemy. Anyway, no matter what the final result is, he doesn't mind being the final fisherman. But at this moment, Hua Yuerong suddenly looked in the direction of Zhang Heng, and said, "Brother, after watching for so long, you just have the heart to watch me being bullied by them. Don't you come to help?" "Brother." The man in brocade frowned, only to find Zhang Heng, who was watching from the sideline not far away, and his expression immediately became a little ugly. Hua Yuerong is already extremely difficult to deal with. If he hadn't secretly negotiated a countermeasure with the other robbers, otherwise he would not dare to attack Hua Yuerong lightly, but this woman really has a senior brother who suddenly appears. The situation is extremely, it is possible to reverse immediately. Sensing everyone's eyes, Zhang Heng also showed a strange color on his face, and said, "Senior brother." As he said that, Zhang Heng shook his head and chuckled again. "Forget it, you call me senior brother, and I, as a senior brother, can't help you, but if you help me, what benefits are you going to give me?" Hua Yuerong didn't hesitate at all, and suddenly threw the strange disc in her hand into the air, saying, "How about I give this 7th level superb 3-Dragon Imperial disc to senior brother? 3 Flood Dragon Imperial Plate." At this moment, almost everyone was taken aback, especially the brocade-clothed man, who shouted, "The ice is not sealed. Quickly release the heaven-sealing immortal formation. This woman will release 3 great spirit dragons. Once the spirit dragons are released, we will definitely die." Sure enough, the 3-colored dragon suddenly let out a shocking roar, and in an instant, the 3-colored dragon reappeared between the sky and the earth. A blue-clothed man's face changed, and after throwing out a formation with one hand, he quickly played a formula. Rot. In an instant, an invisible huge barrier appeared between heaven and earth in the void, unexpectedly sealing the 3-color flood dragon within the barrier for a short time. Hua Yuerong's pretty face sank slightly, and she suddenly turned her gaze to Zhang Heng and said, "Senior brother, they hijacked the spirit treasure I gave you. Don't you plan to do something?" The man in brocade clothes no longer hesitated for a moment, and shouted, "Shoot! Everyone, shoot! No matter what, We must take down this stinky woman today, otherwise none of us will be able to escape. As soon as the words fell, the brocade-clothed man took out a longbow, turned over with one hand and squeezed out a long golden arrow, aiming directly at Hua Yuerong. Zhang Heng's eyes flashed. This longbow had a miraculous radiance. It was actually a spiritual treasure that was not even under the 3 flood dragons' pans. Several people around also made moves immediately, and it was a killer move as soon as they made a move. A woman in the southeast of Hua Yuerong suddenly sacrificed a giant golden pair of scissors. The giant scissors shine brightly and are more than 10 feet long. The sharp gold is like a rainbow, as if nothing is continuous. To the west of Hua Yuerong, there is a man in Xingyi with a long knife on which the images of the sun, moon, and stars are engraved. In an instant, a terrifying sword glow tens of feet long erupted from the man's long sword, and he slashed at the woman like a whirlwind. In the northern direction is a man in black. When the man's figure moved, he seemed to disappear into the void. In an instant, a ray of black strange light pierced the sky. In the eastern direction is a man in white robe. This man squeezed out a stick with one hand and pointed his fingers in the air. In an instant, 10,000 thunderbolts appeared out of thin air, attacking this woman like a 9-day thunder calamity. There are 6 people in a party, each move is fatal. If this woman does not have strong means to save her life, she will definitely die. Hua Yuerong's complexion also became extremely ugly at this moment, but she didn't dare to hesitate for a moment at the moment of life and death. She suddenly threw a golden cauldron, which instantly transformed into a height of tens of feet covered her whole body. But in the next moment, the thunderbolt fell over the tripod, sending out violent shocks, and there was a faint tendency to be out of control. In the next second, the terrifying sword light cut through the sky and fell, and after the giant tripod sent out deafening vibrations, it was directly split by the sword and flew hundreds of meters away into the void, directly turning into the original golden small tripod. Hua Yuerong spat out a mouthful of blood, her pretty face turned as pale as paper. Chapter 69. At this moment, the giant golden scissors fell, as if they were about to reap Hua Yuerong's life in an instant. But the protective flying sword beside Hua Yuerong suddenly turned in the air, turned into a ray of strange light and charged towards the giant golden scissors. Hua Yuerong, die. Hua Yuerong exhausted all his supernatural powers and methods, and the man in brocade was overjoyed immediately. A little light from the longbow in his hand gathered a golden rainbow, as if it contained a terrifying power that would make the whole world look pale, and the entire void couldn't help trembling slightly under the light of this arrow. Hua Yuerong finally felt the mortal danger, and screamed desperately, "Hurry up and make a move. If you can help me today, I will give you a heaven-defying chance in the future. I don't want chance, just give me half of your points and all your spiritual treasures." The figure of Zhang Heng came faintly, but it made everyone present slightly stunned. In the next instant, Zhang Heng's figure broke through the void thousands of meters away and appeared beside the brocade-clothed man. At this time, the bow in the man's hand had been condensed to the extreme, and he was about to release it in the next instant, but the arrow light was still not released. In a second, a stream of light wiped across his neck with lightning speed and the momentum of 970. A huge head fell into the void out of thin air. In the next second, 20 golden wing feathers pierced the sky and flew across the sky indistinguishable to the naked eye. The man in white in the eastern direction, especially without noticing what was going on, was instantly pierced by 20 golden rays of light. Spike! And as soon as he appeared on the stage, he immediately killed 2 in seconds. The rest of the people were terrified when they saw this scene, because the moment Zhang Heng made the move, they didn't even realize how Zhang Heng made the move. A feeling of incomparable terror surged into my heart instantly, and the rest of the people almost wanted to escape without even thinking about it. Zhang Heng didn't take it seriously at all, and took the golden longbow dropped by the man in brocade into his hand with one move. Hua Yuerong also showed a sluggish look at this moment, because with her strength, she didn't even perceive how Zhang Heng made a move. 10 incomparable feelings came to my heart. But at this moment, a sharp black light suddenly pierced through the void and passed across her neck. Hua Yuerong felt a chill in her heart, for she had forgotten that there was still a person lurking in the void. This person is the top expert who is proficient in the art of assassination, Yan Shihan. However, the tingling sensation on the neck stopped abruptly as soon as it came, and the figure of Zhang Heng appeared in front of him at some point in the next moment, and he just flicked his fingers, and the light of the sword was wiped out every day. Instantly pierced Yan Shihan's eyebrows. Another spike? You. Hua Yuerong was about to say something, but the next moment, she felt a chill on her neck, and her eyes instantly went dark. Huh. Zhang Heng was slightly surprised, because at this time the system did not send any kill information, and the woman's body turned into a phantom at the moment of death, without everything on her body disappearing without a trace. Even with his space talent, he couldn't notice how it disappeared. And where the woman disappeared, I suddenly saw a strange burning grass-headed doll. Is this a scapegoat? Zhang Heng showed a strange look. He didn't expect this girl to have such a life-saving technique, which allowed her to escape. But, with a move in his heart, Zhang Heng looked in the direction where the three-color flood dragon was. I see it clearly. This person can move instantly. Space escape method? Invincible? Run. The woman in the southeast's complexion changed drastically. She put away the golden scissors and flew away without the slightest hesitation. The man with the knife also turned around immediately, and his figure turned into a ray of shock. And when Hua Yuerong died, the three-colored dragon plate lost its support in an instant, and the three-colored dragon disappeared out of thin air and fell directly into the void. In front of the heavy treasure, the man named Feng couldn't care less about other sacrifices that he almost didn't think about. With a ray of light, he took the object into his hand, and then wanted to escape. However, as soon as the Flood's Yulong Pan was in hand, the ice was not sealed and he felt his eyes go dark, and his eyes seemed to see his lower body and his feet. In an instant, the Sanjiao Yulong Pan and his formation pan called Fengtian Lock Immortal Formation fell into Zhang Heng's hands. As for the woman with the golden scissors and the man with the knife, they managed to escape in time. They were already 10,000 meters away in a blink of an eye. Even Zhang Heng couldn't catch up. Regarding the escape of the two of them, Zhang Heng didn't take it seriously at all, and with one hand, he inspected the 3 Flood Dragon Imperial plates. 3 Jiao Yulong Plate Grade, 7th Order Spiritual Weapon Excellent Grade Efficacy. 3 7-level dragon souls are sealed in this plate, namely the Red Fire Dragon, the Purple Pupil Gold Dragon, and the Green Scale Wood Dragon. Using the Dragon Control Art, the soul of the dragon can be activated to fend off the enemy, and its power is comparable to that of the real body of the 3 dragons. Extremely powerful, consumes 10,000 points of spiritual power per second during the drive requirements for use. Level 40 Zhang Heng was speechless immediately, not to mention level 40, but also to learn the Dragon Control Art, which consumes 10,000 spiritual power per second. To be honest, a bit tasteless. Then, he took out the longbow again. Shadow Breaker Bow Grade, 7th Order Spirit Weapon, Dark Gold Level Efficacy. It can gather the power of heaven and earth to send out a sky-shattering blow, causing damage equal to basic attack asterisk 1000% to opponents within a distance of 10,000 meters, and it has a sure hit effect, which cannot be dodged, and can be blocked or counteracted 10 seconds, consumes 100,000 points of spiritual power, cooldown, 30 minutes. The power is not bad, somewhat similar to Zhu Tian, but the power is far worse than Zhu Tian, not at the same level at all. As for Zhang Heng, who was still checking the array, the golden-armored human hero not far away was shocked suddenly, and shouted, "The true power of this golden crow has almost been exhausted. Everyone will attack and kill this one, hunt." Zhang Heng raised his sword eyebrows, and his figure moved for an instant. How could such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity be missed? Looking up, the 3-legged golden crow really completely lost its previous power. The symbolic scorching sun disappeared, replaced by a bare golden flying bird image, and a lot of feathers were knocked off. It looks very miserable. Zhang Heng stepped into the void one step at a time, started with the Tianya Demon Slayer sword, and cut through the sky and the sky in an instant with the Zhantian sword that contains the void kendo. The whole world seemed to be divided into 2 under this sword. Clouds and rivers fall 9 times, 10,000 miles do not exist. The terrifying sword light is tens of hundreds of feet long, directly cutting through the void. In an instant, the 3-legged golden crow of the ancient demon god level was also split into 2 by this sword, and golden blood rained down the sky. However, the expected killing information did not come out, only the bird screamed sharply, but the whole body turned into balls of flames, trying to regroup and gather into one. This is the body of the legendary fire essence. As long as the true spirit is immortal, it can be immortal. According to legend, the ancient great witch Ho Yi shot and killed the 90 ancient golden crow with the help of the sun-shooting bow. The sun-shooting bow is an ancient prehistoric artifact with unpredictable power, which can directly destroy the rebirth power of the fire spirit body. Zhang Heng narrowed his eyes slightly, and in the next moment, he softly shouted, Zutian. In an instant, the entire void seemed to be solidified, and a strange aura in the fire spirit transformed by the three-legged golden crow was cut off by a sword light that appeared out of thin air, and only a bang was heard. The golden crow fire spirits all around seemed to lose all their spirituality in an instant and fell into the void. Congratulations to you for killing the 48th level demon god level demon clan, the three-legged golden crow incarnation, and you have obtained 1 million upgrade energy points. Congratulations, all things have been successfully absorbed. 125 points of strength, 115 points of agility, 122 points of spirit, 125 points of physique, SSS level 5.1 talent, fire element proficiency, SSS level. Unendowed skill, fire element control, SSS level increase fire element talent by 50 times, fire element proficiency, SSS level improve the affinity of the fire element, which can increase the training speed of fire attribute skills by 20 times, and increase the power of fire attribute talent skills and skills by 10 times. Congratulations on killing mythical creatures at the second level and gaining 8 million battlefield points. Sure enough, the sword of Zutian can kill even the true spirit of intangible matter. It is indeed a peerless swordsmanship that can be punished even in the legend. Seeing that the golden crow fire spirit fell into the void, Zhang Heng was not willing to waste it. Now that the talent of the fire element has been improved again, it has also directly increased the power of the extremely dazzling ice flame in disguise. With a wave of his hand, Zhang Heng released the extremely dazzling ice flames, and immediately absorbed the surrounding golden crow fire spirits into his body. It's a pity that after the Jixuan ice flame absorbed more than 10 flowers, the scattered golden crow fire spirits turned into nothingness and disappeared between heaven and earth. Chapter 70. Whether it was the human heroic spirits or the robbers around, they were stunned by the scene of Zhang Heng's forceful suppression and killing of the three-legged golden crow. I have to say that the scene where Zhang Heng made a move was really shocking. In a split second of a sword, the entire cloud layer, heaven and earth seemed to be divided into two. The void was cut off, and the space was shattered. Even the strength of the 6th and 7th order powerhouses is no more than this. If he had such strength, why did he spend so long with the three-legged golden crow? A belated robbery responder suddenly said, "Who is this person? Why have I never seen it before? And where did Hua Yuerong go?" The few responders who noticed the big battle just now didn't dare to say anything, because they all saw Zhang Heng kill Hua Yuerong, Bing Bufeng, and others with one sword, and now he directly killed the three-legged Jin Wu. Are you asking who dares to do anything? I just hope that the other party is not the kind of bloodthirsty murderer, otherwise I will cry without tears if I kill them too. The golden-armored soldier who sacrificed the banner and the three-legged golden crow before had a flash in his eyes, took a deep look at Zhang Heng and said, "Your Excellency's swordsmanship is superb. I admire you. May I ask you to join me in entering the Jushinyun Palace and destroy it?" Ieyasu. Zhang Heng put away the Jixuan ice flame casually, and said with a slight smile, "Why not?" As soon as these words came out, the nearby robbers secretly breathed a sigh of relief. 19. Since he answered this way, he probably won't take action against the robbers in a short time, right? The setting of snatching points in the proving ground is also f-king bad. It is estimated that when the third day of the trial arrives, countless robbers will become the targets of harvesting by these strong ones, right? Fortunately, it's only the second day, and it's not yet time for these powerhouses to reap points, otherwise, death. As time passed, the 3-day trial period gradually entered the third day, and the atmosphere in the battlefields of all levels gradually became extremely tense. However, Zhang Heng's points are still at the top of the list in an absolutely crushing manner on the Tiandao Myriad Tribulations list, reaching a terrifying 670 million points, which is definitely a desperate number. King Feng, who is in second place, can barely reach 170 million, a gap of 500 million. which is enough to make people despair. To shorten this gap, the only way is to slaughter all the responders in the 9th level and even 8th level battlefields, so that it is possible to gather 500 million, surpass Zhang Heng in one fell swoop, and become the number one. Of course, there is another way, that is to kill Zhang Heng directly, but Zhang Heng is a tier 1 responder. To be exact, he is now a tier 2 responder. At best he can only be active in the battlefield of tier 2 to tier 4, it is impossible to enter the 5th order battlefield. Therefore, if King Feng wants to kill him, it is tantamount to nonsense. 9 layers of clouds, the top of the clouds. With a sound of blue wind, the figure in green robe stood proudly in the void, overlooking the void. After 2 days of killing, all the clans in the 9th level heaven battlefield have basically been slaughtered, and there is no tile left. Then what follows is the competition and killing among those who should be robbed. In order to be able to compete with Zhang Heng for the first place, King Feng has decided to slaughter the entire battlefield with his own strength, and become an enemy of the heavens and the world. Even if he becomes the public enemy of the entire world because of this, he will not hesitate. Blue Wind, even if you are the 9 heavens sacred dragon, with the body of a sacred dragon, it is impossible to be an enemy of all 9th level powerhouses in the heavens and myriad worlds. In this battle for the list of heaven and earth, whether you admit it or not, you have already lost. It's gone, and it's a complete loss. In the clouds, a man in purple stepped on the void and came across the sky. With the appearance of the man in purple, the entire void seemed to be torn apart, the sky and the earth trembled, and thousands of swords and rainbows pierced down from the boundless sky, as if tearing the entire sky and the earth apart. You are the number 1 arrogance in the heavenly god realm, Mirong Ryukui. You are number 6 on the heavenly Dao myriad calamity ranking. King Feng's eyes narrowed slightly, revealing the identity of the man in purple at a glance. Mirong Ryukui didn't deny it either, and with one finger pointing, a peerless divine blade appeared in the sky and the earth. Very good, I have accepted your points. If you are not satisfied, just come to Tianlong Sanctuary to find me. In the next instant, Blue Wind directly transformed into its main body, and in an instant, a terrifying Cyan holy dragon more than 10,000 meters long stretched across the void, and that terrifying aura seemed to crush the entire world and space into pieces. Facing the most likely remaining holy dragon of heaven and earth in all the heavens and myriad realms, Mirong Ryukui, even the number 1 arrogant of the Lietian god realm, would not dare to be careless in the slightest. He looked up to the sky and roared, "If you don't make a move at this time, when will you wait?" Before he finished his words, he pointed his sword at the sky, and the sword in his hand instantly turned into a sky-shattering sword light, and directly plunged into the sky. That terrifying power seemed to tear the entire world into pieces. At the same time, countless strong men in the depths of the void attacked at the same time, and the entire battlefield world of Jukong Yuntian seemed to be shattered at this moment. Kill. A roar that kills the heavens and the earth pierces through the clouds, and declares that this epic battle of the strong has officially begun. In the 8th order battlefield, a man with fiery red hair looked up at the void. At this time, in the void of 10,000 feet, countless figures surrounded him, and the breath of chill filled the whole world. The red-haired man sneered and said, "Just because you guys want to encircle and suppress this deity, you are simply overthinking your capabilities." A man in Xingyi stepped through the void, drew a starlight with one hand, pointed to the sky, and said calmly, "Tun Tian, I know you are very strong, even unbelievably strong, as the 9 heavens divine beast. You are enough to rival the Blue Wind sacred dragon, but after all, you are just one person, facing the powerhouses of the heavens and the world. Do you think you can escape today?" The red-haired man didn't stop him at all, and said, "Heluo star map? Just relying on your imitated Heluo star map to trap me, don't you think it's too wishful thinking? What about adding this?" A man in white stepped out of the void, holding a strange blue gourd in one hand, and appeared in the sight of the red-haired man. This gourd is nothing else, it is the legendary flying knife. Of course, this thing is just an imitation. The real flying sword is one of the top 10 top treasures in the prehistoric world, and it cannot exist in the lower realm. But even if it is an imitation, this knife is enough to easily kill the strong. It is a famous 913 weapon in terms of deterrence. It is especially above the Heluo star map. The red-haired man's eyes narrowed slightly, finally revealing a little dignified look. The man in white said lightly, Tun Tian, remember who killed you? My name is Bai Jun. After finishing speaking, Bai Jun threw the blue gourd in the air and shouted, please turn around, baby. As soon as the words fell, the cyan gourd opened by itself, and a ray of green energy submerged into the void, turning into a long cyan knife and cutting into the void. If it's the real immortal slaying flying knife, I might still be afraid of it, but it's just an imitation. What can it do to me? The red-haired man suddenly let out a wild laugh, his beard and hair all raised. In the next moment, the red-haired man turned into a terrifying giant beast with a body over 1,000 feet long. This beast was covered with red scales and looked like a giant dog, but with antlers on its head. It was extremely mighty. The giant beast suddenly opened its giant mouth and roared loudly. In an instant, as if everything in the world, including the stars of the 9 heavens, were swallowed by him, the sky Jean flying knife that had cut into the void was instantly swallowed by him before it could deliver a fatal blow, and disappeared without a trace. And the Big Dipper stars in the sky were also torn open, a huge gap in an instant. In the blink of an eye, the 2 great treasures were destroyed almost instantly. The 7th tier battlefield, the 6th tier battlefield, and even the 5th tier battlefield are also erupting in shocking battles one by one at this moment. This unprecedented barren and ancient trial field has finally entered the most tragic moment of decisive battle. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.